Welcome to the EWI DEN. This is an improvisation lesson, and for the next couple videos, I'm going to focus on ascending melodic minor and its application. So today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to build ascending melodic minor and see where it commonly is applied. We're only going to attack one of those today, but we are going to apply ascending melodic minor to a minor blues. So just to get started, I'll play a solo using the appropriate ascending melodic minor over each measure of this minor blues, just so you can get it into your ear and what this sounds like. So here we go. Beautiful scale. I really enjoy using it, and I do use it quite a bit. So building it pretty easy. It might be one of the easiest, if not the easiest, altered scale to build. So if you know your major scales, this will not be tough. So all you do is think major in numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So in the key of C, it would sound like this. All we're going to do is flat the third tone, and that's ascending melodic minor. So it's C, D, E flat, and then the rest of the notes are exactly the same. Here's C, ascending melodic minor. So one thing we want to do is get that scale into our mind. So the easiest way to do it, if you already have a scale routine and you know your major scales, just play like C major, C am. I'm going to call ascending melodic minor am because it's just way easier to say am than ascending melodic minor. So you'd play C major, C am. Then move a fourth, F major, F am. Move a fourth, B flat major, B flat am, until you get the whole way around the circle. So I'll just do C and F. Here's C. C ascending melodic minor. F major. F am. And it really wouldn't take but a couple days until that starts to get pretty easy to think about. So that's a very worthwhile activity. So here's some common applications of ascending melodic minor. And today we're going to work on identifying when it's appropriate to use ascending melodic minor over a minor. It is ascending melodic minor, so you would think you could use it over a minor. But basically it works best if that minor is functioning as a 1 or a 4 in a key center. We're going to talk about that. Some other places that we will talk about, but not today, is using it over half diminished, altered dominant, a Lydian dominant or sharp 11 dominant, and Phrygian sus chords. And those are very common places to use ascending melodic minor. In fact, it's a really nice sound for every one of those situations. So the minor blues form, this is what we're going to work with today. And the things that we need to know about it is, one, how do we know it's a minor blues? Well, it's C minor at the beginning and C minor at the end. That kind of leads us to believe that it might be in the key of C minor. If we investigate that further, we're going to see that 60+% of the tune is C minor. So, yeah, it's probably going to be C minor. It's 12 bars long, which often blues forms are. So now it just comes down to chord function. So the first 4 bars are 1 chord, so I would say the first 4 bars are functioning as a 1. And then it does move to the 4, which is typical of a blues. The second 4 bars is functioning as a 4 chord. And then we have a 5 chord, actually a 2-5-1. We'll talk about that in the next video, big time. And that functions as a 5 chord. So this indeed is a blues. Now, one of the things about ascending melodic minor is when a chord is functioning as a 1 chord, it's a really good place to use ascending melodic minor. And when a chord is functioning as a 4 chord, it's a really good place to use ascending melodic minor. Now, all these rules can be, adjusted with taste and preference and situation, but that's a pretty standard way to apply ascending melodic minor. And it does not work so well when the minor is functioning as a 2. Like if this was just D minor, G7, C major, like a straight up 2-5-1. Ascending melodic minor can be used as a 2, but it's better if that was Dorian minor, okay? Or a bebop scale. So we'll talk about that in future lessons too, but let's just keep moving. So one thing that we can do, and we will do it today, is we can plane a C minor pentatonic over the entire progression. So planing is when you take one scale and you like shoot it over top of an entire composition, or 8 bars of a composition, or 4 bars of a composition. And today we're going to use C minor pentatonic really just to plane over these 2 bars, because we're not going to talk about that vocabulary in this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is just play a solo using C minor pentatonic. Well, C minor pentatonic is 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. In the key of C, it's going to be C, E flat, F, G, B flat, C. And I would encourage you to get your iReal Pro out, get your EWI out, and solo like this too, because when you're playing a C minor pentatonic, you can really listen for these chord changes behind it, and it changes the color of the scale, which is really pretty interesting. Here, I'm going to just drop my iReal Pro in here so you can hear the chords changing. And I'm just going to play a solo, nothing real tough, just a bunch of 8th notes jumping around with C minor pentatonic. So that's what planing a pentatonic scale sounds like. If you go back and listen to those ascending melodic minor scales, there's a tremendous difference in character, and we'll hear it very shortly as we move on in this. If we're going to apply ascending melodic minor to the minor blues, here's how this is going to shake out for today and how we're going to play it. We can play C ascending melodic minor over all of the C minor chords, right? So that little repeat sign means you repeat the measure you just played, so it'd be C am, C am, C am, C am. Then it goes to the 4 chord. So we'll play F ascending melodic minor there. And we'll play F ascending melodic minor here. Then back to C, back to C. And for today, we'll just play C minor pentatonic for these 2 measures. And when we do our scale application exercise, we'll just leave these blank because it'll just give us a chance to think. And then we'll play ascending melodic minor over both of these. Now, to apply the scale to a song that's in 4/4, a really great way to do is just play the scale to the 7th. So we go like 1. That'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The 7th note of the scale ends up being the 4th beat, and that gives us one whole beat to get ready to do it again. So if I went through this, I'll play that figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll play it here, 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 once in every measure. So here's C. Then we move to F ascending melodic minor. Same thing, just play the scale to the 7th. And back to the C. Then we'll just leave these 2 blank while we're doing the play along, and then we're back to C for 2 more measures. And this is basically the first step to looking at the chord symbol and seeing this set of notes. So it's going to take a good number of repetitions to get that together, but let's just try it. So here, I'm going to apply the exercise to the minor blues. Together. I mean, you could do this a bunch of different ways. I mean, you could play the scale down. You could start on different notes, like maybe start on the third instead of the one. Then you end on the two. It's really pretty. I mean, you can do anything that you can think up to try to get this group of notes in the measure. And the more ways you see it, the more comfortable it will be. Then after that, always take a loop, improvising, trying to use the notes that you just practiced. So here I'm going to play, but this time I'll play C minor pentatonic in these two bars. All right, so here's ascending melodic minor in every bar, with the exception of these two where I'll play a C minor pentatonic. Cool things doing that. So here's a great assignment to wrap things up, right? First of all, I'd take a major and ascending melodic minor back to back, like C major, C ascending melodic minor, around the circle of keys. Then the next thing I would do is go through minor blues, applying ascending melodic minor to the 1 and 4 chords, playing the scale up to the 7th. And this would be another thing to do great in every key. And don't forget, number 3 is if you apply it to a key, just set it for 2 choruses, and the second time through, do some improvisation. Okay, hope this gives you some ideas, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Okay.